Hot off the presses. According to league insiders, Dewanna Bonner has no interest in returning to the Indiana Fever.
Natasha Howard made waves on Instagram after Dewanna Bonner abruptly left the Indiana Fever midseason. Howard didn't mince words. Her post sent a strong message that she has no respect for players who quit when things get tough. It was clear she's committed to stick.
But keep it all the way 100. This was the most unprofessional way of going about things that you could have possibly went. Because I genuinely, the way she went about it, I really thought it was something really bad happened. And what made me start to question her reasoning was, I was like, Alyssa Thomas is playing. You know, Steph White's case, she was out for personal reasons. But Lisa was also out, so we were like, okay, it's probably something personal in the family. Dewanna Bonner situation, she said, oh, out for personal reasons, but Alyssa Thomas was playing.
All right, there's been some serious tension brewing in the WNBA between Natasha Howard and Dewanna Bonner. Bonner walked out on the Indiana Fever halfway through the season, leaving the team shorthanded. Howard didn't hold back. She spoke up, clearly upset, and made it known that quitting on your teammates isn't something she stands.
Was the Atlanta Dream game. I actually got to attend that game, and we have not seen her since. It's been said that she was out for personal reasons. People didn't know if this was a family issue, a health problem, a possible retirement. Looks like none of that. Looks like the fit just was off from the beginning. We're going to look at the story in just a second, but that's first my thoughts on it. I think this sucks, obviously, because she was going to be counted on to be a big contributor for.
Here's what went down. Dewanna Bonner brought in as the experienced veteran meant to help lead Caitlin Clark, and a young Indiana Fever squad suddenly walked away mid-season. No injury, no trade, no official release. She simply quit, leaving behind her teammates and her contract, reportedly because things weren't going as she expected. Meanwhile, Natasha Howard, who's been sticking it out all season even though the fit hasn't been perfect, decided she wasn't staying quiet. She posted on Instagram, quoting lyrics from "We Not Done." And let's be real, it wasn't subtle. That message was aimed directly at Bonner.
Ago, obviously after the whole Dewanna Bonner situation, immediately posting song lyrics to a song called "We Not Done." We not done. Yeah, we not done. She's out going posting "We Not Done." And I don't know, again, I'm not going to say there's a shot at Dewanna Bonner, because at the end of the day, there is a non-zero chance that she sat down all the team, apologized to the team, said it wasn't working out, and while they'll be pissed, maybe there's.
But the drama didn't stop there. Natasha Howard unfollowed Dewanna Bonner on social media, then followed her again. That kind of back and forth usually signals that something's going on behind the scenes. In the world of pro sports, when players start sending messages through social media, things are rarely calm, but what really grabbed attention was the timing. Just 54 minutes after the news broke that Bonner had left the team, Howard posted lyrics from "We Not Done." That didn't come across as a generic pep talk, it felt like a direct response to Bonner's exit. Howard also made it clear in another post that she's not quitting on her team and plans to show that on the court. The timing, the content, the tone, it all pointed in one.
So that said, Dewanna Bonner listed Phoenix as one of her preferred destinations.
Next voice, what makes this entire situation even more disappointing is the role Dewanna Bonner was expected to play. She wasn't just another name on the roster. She was brought in to be a stabilizing force, a veteran leader with championship experience, someone who could help guide a young Indiana Fever team through the pressure of a high-profile season. With rising star Caitlin Clark drawing national attention, the team needed experienced voices to help keep the locker room grounded. Instead, Bonner was the first to walk away when things got tough. No injury, no trade, no release. She just left mid-season, without warning, at a time when her teammates and coaches were counting on her presence the most. That's not the kind of leadership anyone expected when she signed on. The Fever invested in Bonner, offering her a $200,000 contract with the belief that she would bring the maturity and professionalism that comes from years in the league. She was given a starting role, regular playing time, and every chance to make an impact. But after just 14 games, when she struggled to find her role, she simply walked away. It didn't feel like a calculated decision from a seasoned veteran. It felt like frustration got the better of her. On the flip side, Natasha Howard has taken a completely different approach. When she was signed, there were questions about whether she was the right fit for this roster, but she's shown up for every game. She's worked hard, adjusted her game, and done what the coaches asked even when things haven't gone perfectly. She's had to make sacrifices and probably has her own frustrations, but she's stayed committed to the team and the process. Howard came to Indiana knowing the system might not highlight her strengths. She accepted that challenge and kept moving forward. Bonner, by contrast, had every advantage: a key role, playing time, the support of the front office, and still walked away when things weren't exactly to her liking. That's not team-first behavior. That's putting yourself ahead of the group. And what really stands out is that Howard didn't just stay silent. She took to social media, made multiple posts, quoted the song "We Not Done," and even played the follow-unfollow game with Bonner. It may seem small, but in today's sports world, it's meaningful. These actions send a clear message not just to Bonner, but to the whole league. Quitting on your team doesn't go unnoticed. Normally, players handle this kind of tension quietly, behind the scenes. The fact that Howard went public shows how strongly she and likely others in the locker room felt about Bonner's decision. It wasn't just about one player leaving. It was about what that departure said to the team, the fans, and everyone watching. Howard's response also matters from a culture standpoint. When things go wrong, young teams look to veterans for guidance. Bonner's choice could have sent the wrong message. Instead, Howard stepped in to show what professionalism and accountability look like. She made it clear that she's still here, still fighting, and not giving up on her teammates. That's the kind of leadership that can shape a team's identity. While Bonner's decision may follow her around the league, raising questions about her reliability, Howard's actions are likely to strengthen her reputation. Coaches, front offices, and teammates now see her as someone who stands firm, even when the situation isn't ideal. This situation wasn't just a bump in the road, it was a defining moment. And Howard, by choosing to speak up and stand strong, made sure the message was loud and clear. Commitment matters. Team culture matters. And when you're part of something bigger than yourself, you don't walk away, you step up. Dewanna Bonner's sudden exit from the Indiana Fever wasn't just unexpected, it struck a nerve across the organization and beyond. She was brought in to be the steady, experienced leader, someone who could guide a young roster, especially with the spotlight now brighter than ever thanks to Caitlin Clark. Instead, just 14 games into the season, Bonner walked away. No injury, no trade, no explanation that softened the blow. She simply quit. And when a player signs a $200,000 contract, takes the paycheck, and backs out the moment things stop being comfortable, it leaves a bad taste not just for the team, but for fans and fellow players alike. Meanwhile, Natasha Howard, the player many doubted when she was signed, has quietly taken the opposite path. She's shown up to every game, stayed committed through the ups and downs, and kept working, even when the system didn't perfectly suit her strengths. She's done whatever the coaching staff needed without a word of complaint. She might not be having a career year, but she's proving something much bigger, that she's a professional. That she's someone who honors her role, supports her team, and sticks it out when things get tough. The contrast between Bonner and Howard couldn't be clearer. One chose to walk away. The other chose to dig in. That's why Howard's Instagram activity hit so hard. Just 54 minutes after the news broke that Bonner had left, Howard posted lyrics from the song "We Not Done." It wasn't a vague motivational quote, it was a deliberate message. And she didn't stop there. She followed it up with a post saying she wasn't quitting on her team and would let her play on the court do the talking. Then came the social media back and forth. Howard unfollowed Bonner, then followed her again. In today's sports world, that's not nothing. Players know how closely fans and media watch every move online. These things get noticed, abandoned all over again. Howard's post told them, in no uncertain terms, don't lose faith just because one person walked away. We're still here. We're still fighting. On the business side, Bonner's exit looks even worse. She signed a deal, accepted the money, and when the role didn't meet her expectations, she walked. That's not how professional sports work. You don't get to choose when you feel like being committed. You're either in, or you're not in. While Howard has every reason to feel frustrated her numbers aren't where they could be, the team isn't winning like they hoped, and the fit hasn't been seamless. She hasn't bailed. She's stayed the course. She's kept her head down, stayed professional, and kept doing her job. the public things got tough in Indiana, Bonner left. It raises a question. If she walked once, what's to say she won't do it again? Howard, on the other hand, is building a very different legacy. She's showing she's reliable, tough, and committed to her team. That's the kind of reputation that helps you stay in the league longer. That's the kind of mindset coaches love to build around. To make matters worse, the timing of Bonner's decision couldn't have been worse. This wasn't in the off-season, where a team could recover, reshuffle, and plan ahead. Plan ahead. It was mid-season. The Fever had to scramble, waive Bonner officially, and bring in Ari McDonald on a hardship contract just to fill out the roster. That kind of disruption can throw off chemistry, continuity, and trust, all of which are crucial for a young team still trying to find its rhythm. It's likely that part of Howard's frustration came from having to deal with that fallout. Her posts weren't just personal, they were a reflection of the strain that comes when a teammate disappears and others are left to pick up the pieces. It's not just about basketball, it's about trust and responsibility. But Howard didn't just react out of anger. Her decision to speak out shows something deeper, that she cares. She didn't want Bonner's exit to reflect poorly on the entire team. She wanted fans and maybe the rest of the league to know there are still people in this locker room who are locked in, who still believe in what Indiana is building. Her "We Not Done" message wasn't just a jab, it was a declaration, a signal to fans, teammates,